I have a new piece of equipment that I want to share with you today, and I'm thinking my longtime viewers have already guessed what it is. I have a new hat. This is my Bushie from Aussie Chiller. If you're interested, keep watching. All right, before we get started, I just want to thank the company Aussie Chiller for sending out my new hat, known as the Bushie. So what I thought I'd do is I'll just sit down, reposition the camera so we can take some closer looks at the hat. I'll talk a little bit about the hat and what makes it different from pretty much everything else that I own. All right, let's get started. Now, just in case longtime viewers were worried that I was giving up wearing Tilly hats, have no fear, that's not the case. In fact, this may be the last day this fall that I wear my Aussie Chiller out in the woods, only because the weather is turning and it's getting quite a bit colder. And this is more of a spring, summer, fall hat than it is a winter or a cold weather hat. So I'll be switching into one of my other Tilly hats very shortly. But while it is still warm enough to wear this hat out, that's why I thought I would give you some close-ups and talk about it a little bit. So I've been wearing the hat now for about 2 months, pretty much every day, and I've really come to appreciate it. Now, it has some unique features in the design, the construction, the materials that make it pretty much different than any other hat, at least that I'm aware of. But let's just talk about the hat, where it came from and where the origin of its design came from. So you can probably gather from the look of the hat, if you haven't already gathered from the name of the hat, it is made in Australia. So this is what's commonly known as an Australian Outback style hat, kind of a rancher, horseman, cowboy type of thing that they wear in Australia. So that's where the genesis or the origin of this design comes. Now, this isn't the only design that Aussie Chiller has for offer. This one is known as the Bushie. This is their classic original. They have a Bushie Plus, has a wider brim on it. They have, I don't know, bucket hats, they have ball caps. They have a number of different designs in a variety of colors, all made from the same material though. And that material, okay, it looks, when you get it, if you purchase one and you feel it, you're thinking, that's made of suede. How cool is that? But it's not. There's no animal products in this. In fact, the material is a cotton-based synthetic. So I'm assuming some type of a polycotton or polynylon material. So it is a synthetic material, and that's the best way to look at it. But the durability is something that Aussie Chiller chose to build into the hat right from the beginning. And when I give you some close-ups, you'll understand the construction of the hat makes this an especially well put together. But some of the claims for it, and I tested these out, is that it is virtually indestructible. Well, okay, I won't go so far as to say indestructible, but it can withstand quite a bit of abuse. So they show in some of their ads it being crushed and things in suitcases. I can attest to that. I've taken this hat on a couple of occasions and actually balled it up into a virtual ball, crushed it pretty much from all sides. It's sprung back into its original shape about 90%. I'll talk about that in a minute and what you do if there are some creases left over. Yeah, it is very, very tough material. No, it has a UPF, ultraviolet ray protection. All right, I think you understand what I'm saying. Of 50 plus. So this is going to protect you from the sun as well. It has, now my model has perforations all around this part of the crown, and that's an option you can have either with or without, and that's true of all the different models they have to offer. This will allow for a little bit more breathability in the hat, and I chose to go down that route because I expect I'm going to be wearing this spring, summer, fall, and I wanted that extra breathability. I wasn't sure how breathable the material itself is. Now, Aussie Chiller says it does breathe, the wind will pass right through the material, but I see no issue with not having the holes in it. I don't think it really changes the look of it all that much. And yeah, so one of the things that this hat has been designed to do is it has a soak me technology. All right, so basically, because it is a cotton-based synthetic, this will soak up and hold a lot of water. So really hot day, dunk this in the stream, put it back in your head, it'll hold quite a bit of water. It will stay wet for an hour to 3 hours, depending on the weather, of course, and with evaporative cooling, it will cool your head off, and cooling your head off means cooling your whole body off. So it has that advantage. It doesn't drip, it just holds the water and slowly evaporates, and the wind going through the material expedites or speeds up that evaporative cooling, making you feeling even cooler yet. But it doesn't stain, it doesn't go moldy. It's quite an amazing material. Now let me give you a few close-ups of the construction of it. And I'll start with the outside. I just want you to see the perforations on there, the crown. All right. Now, when I first got this and I handled the material without glasses on, I thought that's some kind of a foam material, but it's not. When you look closely with your glasses on, you'll see that it is a woven material, but you know that there's some type of a synthetic mixed into it. I don't think that'll show up on camera there, but that's what it's not spongy, but it's not thin. It's got quite a bit of resilience. As you can see, it'll hold its shape. Yeah, so the inside of the crown, you can see that there is a bias tape running around to hold so there's no raw edges out. The sizing of this is an elasticized band going around the inside of the hat that helps keep it on. Now, I wear a 7.5 Tilly, if that's going to help anybody out. So I went into the sizing chart and chose extra large. Perfect size, perfect size. Now you can get away with a little bit on either side of whatever your measurements are, because this band, this elasticized band, does give you a little bit of a leeway, a little bit of a custom fit as well. I really think the style of this hat is, you know, quite nice. So here's what I did. Like I mentioned, I crushed it up, and when I unfolded it, it sprung back to about 90% of its original shape, but there were a few creases in it that concerned me. So I went back to the website where Aussie Chiller talks about the maintenance of the hats, and it says if it gets a crease like that, then they have a little hand steamer people use for their clothing. Well, I don't have one of those, but I put a kettle on the stove. I brought the kettle to a boil, had a jet of steam coming out of the end of the kettle, held this right over the steam where the wrinkle was. When I felt it get quite warm and damp, I just pressed it down on the counter with my hand and smoothed it out, and the crease was gone. So it's, let's say, 99.9% of its original, actually, maybe even 100%. I don't know that there is, I can't even find where the wrinkles are or were at that point. Yeah. Okay, not a lot more to say about this. I'm really liking this hat. It has a different look than the Tilly hats, but still a very classic Australian Outback look. It's made with modern materials. It's not made with suede. You're going to be appreciative of that, because suede or leather, as nice as it looks, gets bloody hot when it's hot outside. So this is a cooler hat that has all the protection, has the durability of a hat that you want for long term. All right. Simple review, right? Like I said, I'm just really liking this hat, but it's about to go away so I can put on colder weather hats. I will leave the links for where you can take a look at the Bushie and the other models that they have at Aussie Chiller, as well as the specs for this specific hat if you're interested. Like I said, it came in a variety of colors. This one is camel. I think that was the color I chose for this hat. All right, get out and explore. Take that path, let's travel, because it will make all the difference. Bye for now.